Dead by Daylight. Despite what the community likes to say, it's an exceptionally well-made game that constantly pushes out new, refreshing content. The gameplay is a blast to play with different maps, killers, and perks constantly changing things along the gameplay loop. With this in mind though, there are some things that need to be changed, called the minor tweaks or quality of life updates. These things would make the game so much more manageable. First, we need to talk about the blood point grind. This last summer, behavior actually helped out a ton when it came to ensuring DBD was more grind friendly by making items much cheaper. This caused another issue then, as it now takes forever to spend your blood points. 2 million blood points can take up to 45 minutes to spend. We need to drop the blood point cap altogether. It has no place in the game in this year. Just let us collect as many blood points as possible so there's no urgency to spend them. An official stat tracking feature would be fantastic. I'd love to see stats on how many generators have been completed in my lifetime, how many times I've stunned the killer to save a survivor, or even weird stats like how many skill checks I've missed. I think it would be a fun way to make browsing the menus more alive. Another ease of access feature would be to make perks searchable. It can be a pain in the ass hovering over hundreds of perks on nearly 8 pages to find one specific perk. This is such a stupidly simple addition, not adding it to the game blows my mind. Now for the first time ever in my life, I say the phrase, let's take inspiration from Overwatch. Did you know that you can give teammates thumbs up for good teamwork or being a good support in DBD? Neither did I for my first couple hundred hours, and I still don't think there's an actual purpose to it. I'd love for there to be a system similar to endorsing in Overwatch, where you're rewarded for being a good sport. Maybe give out a few charms and blood point bonuses, and who knows, maybe it will have a positive effect on the community as well. Now a few things that would impact gameplay instead of the menus. And the first is to help out the solo queue dilemma. Something that would help solo queue game awareness and not directly buff survivors as a whole would be nice, which is why I introduced to you status icons. Status icons would be placed near each survivor's tab on the screen displaying what action they are currently performing. There could be actions for moving, repairing, healing, and even opening exit gates. This would massively help out the solo queue experience and make players much more inclined to play more often if they usually only survive with friends. We're going to steal another idea from a different game that would improve newer players' experiences as well as actually helping behavior's profits. League of Legends. League of Legends has a rotation of free legends that you can choose to play that are not necessary to buy. And with the ever-growing pool of killers added to the game, this would be a great feature. DBD at one point had Splinter offerings, allowing you to play the killer noted on the offering even if you did not own them. This was eventually phased out of the game for unknown reasons, but replacing this with our own rotation system, so every month a new killer is able to be played for free even if you don't own him. It lets newer players try out different killers they do not already own. This would also kick back some profits to behavior themselves, as this will cause some players who would never think of trying a killer to finally put the money into the game and buy that killer. And now these last 2 points I'm going to bring up aren't necessarily quality of life changes, and more so small steps that I think the direction of the game should go in. At the moment, the map offering system is completely busted, as it will always be very survivor-sided. If every player in the lobby played a map offering, odds are the map would be survivor-sided. The solution I see would be to completely rework the effectiveness of these offerings, where they would now ban the map from the pool of maps instead of choosing the map. This would result in a more balanced game and more fun unpredictability when the game loads. Meta changes. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Remember when running Dead Hard and Borrowed Time were required or else you're pretty much throwing? Or how about Ruin and Undying, dominating literally every killer loadout? The big perk nerf of summer 2022 will always be one of the best updates behavior has rolled into the game. It made so many different builds and playstyles completely viable. Now, I am not one to say we should be receiving constant meta changes, but when this game starts to get a little stale, I love for behavior to pump out another massive perk overhaul. Yeah, and I mean, that's pretty much all I could come up with that aren't super nitpicky things. I think these things would be really helpful in solving a few minor issues that the community deals with. So please, behavior, I beg you. And hey, this is actually rare YouTube eyes only content. Most of my content's over on Twitch. Go follow me at twitch.tv/nebsv2.